In order to determine the latitude and longitude of any given absolute location, there are a few steps that one needs to follow. First of all, if the question is, what is the absolute location of Mexico City? There is a very easy way to figure this out. First, we need to find the equator. If you look at this world map, you will note that 0 or 0 degrees latitude, lat is flat, is the equator. You need to determine which direction you need to move in order to get to Mexico City. As you see here on the map, Mexico City is north of the equator. So as we move our ruler up, we see that it's somewhere between 15 and 30 degrees north latitude. So the first thing we've just figured out is that we're going to move north of the equator. The next direction we need to find is from the prime meridian. The prime meridian is here and goes through Greenwich, England. It's the imaginary line that cuts the earth in half. From here, we need to determine whether we're going to move east or west in order to get to Mexico City. As you can see from the compass rose, you need to move west in order to hit Mexico City. Now, it's hard to tell where that longitudinal line is because there's so much bend in the Earth's surface here. A good rule of thumb is to go to a more specific map. So if we continue to turn the pages and we find North America political and we find Mexico City, you'll note that it's going to be easier to find which lines of latitude and longitude are closest to Mexico City. Again, we're going to find from the equator and move north. Here's 0 degrees latitude. If we move north from here to Mexico City, we're going to notice that here, between 10 and 20 degrees north, lies Mexico City. And Mexico City lies very, very close to the 20 on the latitude. So what we're going to do is estimate, and we're going to estimate it around 19 degrees. In order to write that, we're going to write it over here as 19 degrees. And since we moved north of the equator, we're going to indicate that by giving the north sign. Next, we need to find its longitude. If we come over, you're going to notice that it starts at about 70 degrees west, not at 0. So we're going to keep moving west until again we hit Mexico City. And as you notice, it's right here between the 90 degrees and the 100 degrees. And it's very close to the 100 degrees. So between 90 and 100 degrees, we can guess pretty closely that it's going to be around 99 degrees. So we're going to write that. And the fact that we moved west is what we're going to indicate here. And that is how you figure out latitude and longitude for a specific location on the map, known as, again, the absolute location.